That's right. That's right. I caught you sleeping. Black power. Boom. We black in the house, family. It's the Truth Hour with General Sara Seti. Kick back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com. Online marketplace. That's right. Official General Sara Seti DVD lecture. We in the house. We in the house, family. Caught you sleeping. Caught you sleeping. Official General Sara Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, and hoodies for the kings and the queens, African and Kemetic jewelry family to rock the house. We got ancient Egyptian king tut. We even got the Benin, the Obas. We got the Naga Buddhas. We got the Unks. We got the all-seeing eyes. We got the cosmic talisman. We got everything that you need, family. Holistic herbal tonics and remedies, black seed immunity booster, natural men tonic, home decor, pillowcases for your family, accessories for every room in the house. We got you, living room, dining room, kitchen, bathroom, KingSeti.com, 25% off at this time. That's right, pull the fire alarm. GeneralSeti.com, Seti University, over 900 video presentations on African history, heritage, spirituality, nation building, mental warfare, advanced African academics developing the Black nation one lesson at a time. The complete General Sara Seti website. Class is not in session. Get your ass in class and join today, GeneralSeti.com. Highlighting too raw for YouTube, band video, General Seti videos, The Black Woman is God, video library series and catalog, The Making of a Nigga So Raw could only be shown on GeneralSeti.com, The Making of the White Man, of course, from the caves of Europe to the hills of Appalachia. That's right, GeneralSeti.com. Get your ass in class today. And I mean that. General Seti, keep it popping on Patreon, BPC, making noise, we never come, exclusive live stream, too hot to handle on YouTube. Just dropped was Ancient Egypt powered by vibranium-like stones from the Congo. Part 2 is tomorrow. Part 1 was yesterday. And so if you want that smoke, you need to go on over there and get it. Patreon, General Seti, and you got over 150 live stream lectures on there based on your tier. You know, no matter what tier you pick, you gonna eat. You pick a bigger tier, you eat big. You feel me? That's how we go. Highlighting on Patreon why ice people never worship sun gods. You see, where are the original books of the Bible? The ancient Egyptian origins of the Jedi Knight. Patreon, General Seti, get over there today and become a patron. And make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube pages, King Seti, General Seti, Sara Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Don't you say nothing crazy. You see? Or I will ban your ass. You say, I see somebody say, shout out Shaka Sankofa. What up, Shaka? What's up, God? I ain't got no problem. What's up, Shaka? Tell him get with me. Tell him to inbox me and we can make it happen. Get him on over here. That's right. Tell him to get with me. Tell him to email me, General Seti at Yahoo. Shaka, what's popping? All right. We're getting down tonight. You know, I say, you know what? That's right. I know. Look out, bro. You know how we do. Okay. We're dealing with a very powerful topic tonight that nobody wants to talk about. The massacre of Africans in the Bible, totally ordained by God. You see, the massacre of Africans in the Bible totally ordained by God. You see? And so this the one you praying to every night. And he got a hit on your ass. You begging for your little pennies from this God. And this God then put a hit out, put a contract out on your ass. Black people. You see? And so we're gonna deal with it tonight. We're gonna deal with it tonight. We're gonna deal with it tonight. Where that at? That's the one I wanted to do. That's the one I wanted to do. Let me get in here. Let me see. I was wondering how. Okay, right here. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Peace, family. Now, see, these are things that people don't want to deal with, and it show you why you're in the predicament you're in because you can't make an intelligence on when some shit ain't set up for you. Some shit just ain't set up for you. Okay, they didn't have you in mind at all when they created this shit. Okay, and so you going against all odds. You see, in dealing with this book, some niggas didn't jump side. They don't even want to be the African because they already know that goddamn it, the African is cursed by God in the Bible. Nobody want to talk about that. You see, and many people try to run behind the so-called curse of Canaan, but we can see that all the African tribes in the Bible are cursed at one time or another, where God has ordained some vicious brutality upon these African people. Okay? And so we're going to talk about it tonight. You see? We're going to talk about it. Now, the question is, all Africans are cursed. A God so loved the world that cursed all the African nations. And it says, and God so loved the world that he cursed all African nations. And so how do we break this down? When you look at this chart here, this old wicked chart. This old wicked chart. Matter of fact, let me take this one out. That's right. God put a hit out on us, y'all. Trying to take us out. What kind of God is that? A wicked God. And so we see here. Now, Noah's, now we know this is some bullshit now. We know goddamn well ain't no Noah. Ain't never been no Noah. Never will be a Noah. You see? And so, but in the Bible, for those that are lost in the sauce, and that's all they know, they Sunday morning niggas, and that hoop and holler, put that same suit on they've been wearing for the last 2 years, and get them old rusty shoes up out of there that they've been taking down to the shoe shine, and motherfucking and shine the goddamn leather off of them because the nigga can't even afford to get he done gave all his money to Reverend Chicken Wing Dunner, you see, and and he riding around in Mercedes Benzes and shit, private jets and shit, and nigga can't even, put food on the damn table. You see, this is real. It's funny, but it's real. And so you see here, Noah has 3 sons. You got Shem, you got Japheth, you understand? And you got Ham. And Ham is out of the 3 sons, Ham is supposedly the patriarch of the African nations. You see, he green. You see, he's green. And you see Shem and Japheth, they in good faith with Noah. You see, they in good faith. They in the blue, but the green niggas, see, they curse. And so you see right there, Ham, and you look right up under it, it says, father of Egypt and all enemy nations of God's people. Did you hear that? Father of Egypt and enemy nations of all God's people. You see enemies, you see? And so you see Mizraim, Egypt, you see Canaan. Then you go down Cush, even Cush, enemy of God's children. Nimrod, who was the son of Cush. Babylon, enemy of God. Sidon and Hell with the Hittites and Sidon, the Phoenicians. You see, the Phoenicians. And then you got the Philistine, all of these. All the ones in green and red, Assyria, all these. Fathers of the Amorites. And so, you know, they are the enemy of God's people. Enemies of God. You see? How is it that, you know, this God so loved the world and, you know, and he gave his only begotten, but before he figured he gonna, you know, send his son, he's here committing mass murder on people, ordaining a mass murder on putting hits out on whole nations, commanding the Israelites to go in and commit total genocide. This is the God that we know. I mean, come on now. God all of a sudden get a conscience and shit in the New Testament, and now he want to make up. You see, you know, shit. You got to come in and deal with this. You see, you got to come in here and deal with this. When you come in, you see Abraham. You see, and then you see cursed Ham. You see, so Abraham. And the crazy thing about it is that, you know, even though God cursed all these people, how is it that every one of the Hebrew prophets married one of these cursed people's women? Whether it was Abraham, he married Hagar, came a second wife. Moses, I'm gonna get on his wicked ass, who married Zipporah, an Ethiopian, but yet and still God even commanded him to commit genocide on her peoples. I say, what kind of shit is this? What kind of shit is this? God commanded Moses to commit total genocide on his own wife's people. And I'm gonna deal with that today. I'm gonna stack it up on you so you can see. And so when we say the Hamites, you got to understand, so you understand who Ham is. You see, you go down here, Ham was the father of Cush, Mizraim, which is Egypt, Put, and Canaan. It is believed that he had Africa for his inheritance and that he peopled it, but he dwelt in Egypt. Africa is called the land of Ham in several places of the Psalm. So when you go here and you see curse Ham and you see, and it says in Egypt and all enemy nations of God, who are they talking about? He's talking about Africa. Do you understand that? And that's why a lot of niggas probably just don't want to be African. Motherfucker try to be anything in the world. You see what I'm saying? Motherfuckers come here and tell you they related to Bruce Lee. You understand? They motherfuckers tell you, nah, nigga, they any nigga. I'm from the Chin dynasty. That's what they'll do. Because they don't want to be African, because in the Bible, they don't have no place. They cursed. They cursed in the Bible. You see? And so let's go down here and let's see exactly what God ordained. Now, this is God ordaining this. To let it be known, Deuteronomy 20:16-18. But of the cities of these people, which the Lord thy God doth give thee for an inheritance. Now, this is the crazy shit. You know, I want y'all to listen to me when I talk to you. I'm gonna come right back in. God promises the Israelites the land of the Canaanites, of the Africans. You see? And he promises it to them. And so my question is, if you chosen by God, why he didn't give you that in the first place? I'm asking this because we dealing with morality. You see, we dealing with morality, and God's supposed to be moral. You see, this is Almighty. He's supposed to lead in morality. You see? So if you don't like these people, and this is the Holy Land, I don't understand that, why you would give something holy, because in the New Testament, you know, Jesus said, why cast your pearls to the swine? You see, why cast your pearls to the swine? Is that what he said? Matter of fact, let me look that up. Let me look that up. You see, let me look that up. Because I'm gonna catch God. There you go. Why cast your pearls before the swine? Okay, what chapter and verse? Matthew 7:6. Do not cast your pearls before swine. You see, you don't give your sacred to the profane. You see, you don't give that which is sacred to the profane. And so here you catch God a hypocrite. Because my question is, if why would you cast your pearls before swine, and why would you give your land, which you claim to be the Holy Land, to a people that you ultimately have to exterminate, to remove them off the land? You understand? In the first place, why would you do that? If the Hebrews were the holy people, they were the chosen people, then why wouldn't you give them that land in the first place and avoid a massacre of people whom you didn't like in the first place? And if you did not like them people, you are the creator. Why would you create a people that you would not like? You see? Why would you do that? And so that's a very good question for a God that could avoid all this. You see, he could avoid being a mass murderer. And so when we read here in Deuteronomy, it says, but of the cities of these people, which the Lord thy God doth give thee for an inheritance, thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. Total extermination. But thou shalt utterly destroy them, namely the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, as the Lord thy God have commanded thee, that they teach you not to do after their abominations, which they have done unto their gods, so ye should sin against the Lord your God. Thou shalt utterly destroy them. Thou shalt save alive nothing that breatheth. Okay? Joshua 6:21. They devoted the city to the Lord and destroyed with the sword every living thing in it, men, women, young and old, cattle, sheep, and donkeys. Man, you know, they devoted the city to the Lord and destroyed with the sword every living thing in it, men and women, young and old, cattle, sheep, and donkeys. You see, these is Africans. These is Africans. Okay, I want y'all to understand that this is in the Bible. These are the Hamites. These are the nations that inherited Africa. Okay, and Canaan was their brother. You see, Canaan was the brother of Egypt and Cush. You see, and Ham is another term for Egypt. Cam or Kim, it means black. Isaiah 20, verse 4. King James Version for you. I know y'all love that Queen James. So, I'm going to put the King James in there. And so shall the king of Assyria, listen to me, lead away the Egyptian prisoners and the Ethiopian captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. This is a very vicious book on African people. This is a very vicious book. So when people say, I hear people say, oh, that, because I get on the Jew and his Talmud. You see, get on that Jew and his Talmud, but people don't know that, because the Talmud got some vicious shit in it about African people too. And we get on that, but I have to say that the Torah is equally as vicious on African people. You see, equally as vicious. Let me go down. Chronicles chapter 4. And listen to this. And I'm going to show you how vicious this God is. You see, I'm going to read how vicious this God is. 1 Chronicles chapter 4. And they found, what it say? A fat pasture and good. And the land was wide. Listen to this. They didn't, it'd be something different if they came into a land where there was warriors that was, putting up, and even then to kill everybody. Old, young, women, you see, vicious, you see. Now listen to this. And they found fat pasture and good, and the land was wide and quiet and peaceable. The land was wide and quiet and peaceable. For they of Ham had dwelt there of old. You see? So that means our people have been in the land of old. They have been there for a long time. And it was quiet and peaceable. There was no warriors there. You see, there was no violence there. It was quiet and peaceable. For they of Ham had dwelt there of old. And these were written by the name in the days of Hezekiah, king of Judah, and smote their tents and their habitations that were found there, and destroyed them utterly unto this day, and dwelt in their rooms, because there was pasture there for their flock. So it shows and proves that they murdered the people, and they moved into their homes and took over their civilizations. You see, these was a savage people. The Hebrews were savages. They as savage as a people can be that has ever been recorded in history. You see, the land was quiet, was wide and quiet and peaceable. They of Ham had dwelt there of old. You see, and so I want y'all to hear this. In King James, I don't know what I didn't leave but I know this is in thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt and merchandise of Ethiopia and of the Sabaeans, men of stature shall come over unto thee, and they shall be thine. They shall come after thee, and in chains they shall come over, and they shall fall down unto thee. They shall make supplications unto thee, saying, surely God is in thee, and there is none else, there is no God. Okay, now, I put this in here because in this instance, they show Egypt, Ethiopia, and Sabaeans to be in alignment with God. You see? And just to show you how they double talk. Now, that one's, personally, I need to see what was before that. Thus saith the Lord, the labor of Egypt, the merchandise of Ethan. Oh yeah, well, no, it wasn't. It's saying that their merchandise shall come over. No, that's not the one. It's showing that they there to take they they merchandise shall come over to the Israelites. That's what it's saying. So, and they shall fall and they shall come after thee in chain they shall come over and they shall fall down unto thee. So it's showing that they will enslave Egypt, the Sabaeans, and the Ethiopians. Okay? That's exactly what it was saying. And so Genesis 9, 25, 27, it says, he said, cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves he will be to his brother. Now that's some very crazy shit. That's some very crazy shit. Because what they don't, what they don't emphasize, and a lot of motherfuckers try to make, they try to make Shem, Ham, and Japheth different races. You see, even though they got one mother and one father. See, they don't do that with the 12 tribes. You see, maybe today because the niggas is all over the place. You see, they ain't no Hyksos. They ain't no Hyksos. They ain't no Hyksos. They ain't no Hyksos. That's a lie. You see, we're showing how they took it. You see, they invented the Hyksos. They to give because the Hebrew thing ain't got no historical record. You see, and so what they did is try to create a historical record and show and say that but the thing is about the Hyksos, just like Walter Williams said, they didn't leave nothing. They didn't leave no evidence. You see what I'm saying? How in the hell you gonna conquer something you ain't leave no evidence? You see, there was no evidence they was ever there. You see, none at all. Okay, and so that was just invented to get a Hebrews a doorway and to say, oh, the Hyksos was the Hebrew. Was no Hyksos. You see, they created the Hyksos no different than they created the Hebrew. But what it does show that whatever people that came, they dealing with the Hebrews, you see what I'm saying, that they did enslave our people in Canaan, but not in Egypt. There's no record of no Hyksos in Egypt. Okay, now in Israel, which is a total different situation because they were on the outskirts, you see, and so because right above the Israelites was a region of uncertainties, the mountain range, and so they had a lot of things coming over there, and with the Egyptians had to come down there and protect them, you see, and to protect them and protect the front door of their nation. But the Hyksos there was never no Hyksos ruling in Egypt. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? At no time, and you don't see no record, because when you go to the Abydos Kings list, it's 2,000 years of continuous rule. They don't show no breakage in the bloodline. You see, from Narmer to Seti is 2,000 years of a continuous rule. You see, there is no Hyksos rule in Egypt. They were invented only to give some type of foundation to the theory that the Hebrews was in Egypt. You see what I'm saying? And give some credibility to that. Now, but whatever vagabonds that took over in Israel, it is proven that, whoever they were, they came from over them mountains. You see what I'm saying? They was from over them mountains. And again, they stole the land. And so they were more of a Caucasoid, you understand, background, whatever they were, because even in the Bible, they say from the north, they always talking about the striking from the north, you see. But, at the time in which they talking about, it wasn't no force. They didn't even have no force. Around at the time, they say the Hyksos, they didn't have no force. They were still, at the time of the Hyksos, who are they? They didn't have no civilized with no army strong enough to take Egypt at all. That's unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? They creating motherfucking, they creating shit and placing them in because even at the time of the Hyksos, Greece hadn't even appeared. So where did they come from? You see, where did they come from? You know, the only civilized nation on the earth was the Cushites, you see, who ruled, and then they wasn't uncivilized like that. You didn't see no devil, no conquering amongst you know, no, there ain't no record it ain't no record. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. They placing that just like they say they find goddamn Israel on the murder top. You see Murray, oh, so that's a record? Yeah, it's gonna be a record if you allow the other man to write the record. You see? You see? I done been to Egypt. I done studied under the master. I ain't never seen, I done read even from the white boys and shit, and they didn't leave. What did they leave? Show me what they left. Name me one temple. Show me the temple. Name the temple. Name me one. You say they left it? I'm gonna wait right here. I done studied damn near every temple in ancient Egypt. Name me one temple that they left. Where it's at? So I can bring that motherfucker up right now. J Snake, bring it up. Name me the temple. What a temple? Don't hold me up now. Now, when the Greeks came in, they did force the Egyptians to build temples, but those were Egyptian architects. So you tell me what they left, because they didn't come in as civilized people. Okay, so if they did come in, show me one thing that they built. Show me one record. Show me one fucking record. What was the language that they had? They couldn't have had a written language, because all languages in the world come from ancient Egypt. You see? So you name me, now if they were strong enough to penetrate Egypt, you see, they had to be an organized civilization. Okay? You ain't just gonna be no tribe or no motherfuckers and you gonna come into Egypt. Egypt had iron and shit and all of that. You see? That's where Egypt was more advanced. You see? So you ain't gonna tell me where did they come from? Out of nowhere? What the fuck? They rolled out the clouds? You see? I read that and when I was reading the European shit, when they was talking about the Hyksos, even the European, they would write, but they ain't leave no records. So I like to see where the records is located at. You understand what I'm saying? I started seeing in some of the, when they tried to forcibly, create the Hyksos, they was using Yakub and shit all. I say, what the fuck is this? You see? And so as I went through all the, even like I said, when the Greeks and Romans came in, they forced the Egyptian architects to create temples. And you can see the Ptolemies on the temples, but everything was African. You see, these was African architects. So, the thing is, I need to know what the records was. You know what I'm saying? What writings did they leave? Because they didn't leave no writings, because all writings came from the language, the alphabet came from Egypt, period. Ain't nobody had no goddamn alphabet. They're just like motherfucking Greeks. They talk about the philosophers and shit. They talk about the Platos, the Socrates, and the Aristotles. Where the fuck is the books? You see, the one thing about Egypt is topsoil. It's topsoil. Everything is topsoil. If we ask for it, it's there. We ain't got to second guess it. If you ask for goddamn records, we can give you the records. If you say, where's the original scrolls of ancient Egypt, we got thousands. You see, we got thousands. Then we ain't got to hold you up. Whatever one you want. You understand? Who never, we got the papyrus iron, you got pyramid writings, text, temple text. You got scrolls. You got writings on coffins. You see, Oh man, fuck that nigga. Oh my God. I wanted to. Damn, you should have let that nigga alone. I was gonna beat him up, right? Damn, let that nigga get away. Man, I was about to wear that nigga out. You see what I'm saying? God damn it. But that's okay. You understand what I'm saying? And so you got to know, and I'm leaving, you know what I'm saying? I'm leaving, but I want to answer that because a lot of motherfuckers, you know, they don't believe because, you know, that, you know, if you let the other man write the story, he need a way in there. You see what I'm saying? And when the Hebrew thing wasn't working for him, he had to create somebody else. You see what I'm saying? And so he created what they call the Hyksos. Okay, and they supposedly ruled Egypt 100, 200 years. But the thing is, they didn't leave, and they didn't leave no temples. They didn't leave no writings. They don't leave, so they just came in and did what? What did they do? You see what I'm saying? We don't see no records of what they left. And so this is, you know, I don't even see them in ancient Egyptian records. You see, the only thing I see is the Abydos Kings list, and I see from Narmer to Seti. You don't see nothing in between that. It showed that they ruled for 2,000 years straight. And then you got to deal with the family after that. There was no army at that time that can take on ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt was the dominant culture at that time, and nobody did, because if they came out of nowhere, they had to have some type of military or whatever. And if they had that type of social structure, then they would have had a nationalistic identity. Where is the homeland of the Hyksos? I ain't never heard nobody even say where their homeland was. Because if we know where their homeland is, then we can go there, then we can look at their indigenous culture, and then we can know more about them. But they appear out of nowhere. Then they supposedly came into Egypt and did what? What did they do? You see, at least the Greeks and the Romans left some evidence of them being in Egypt. The Hyksos don't leave no record. You see? And so I know niggas, you know, they still on that old school shit. They don't understand that this is a new era where we pressing motherfuckers to the wall about these damn records. You see, they're just like the Greeks. And again, and a lot of people don't even understand that. They didn't even, you know, if Egypt can produce records, then you should be able to produce records. You see, if Egypt got thousands and thousands of scrolls, then Greece and Rome should have thousands and thousands. Mesopotamia should have thousands and thousands of scrolls. They wasn't advanced. Egypt brought into existence paper. There wasn't no goddamn paper nowhere else. Even after they came into Egypt, the Greeks and the Romans started writing on papyrus. They didn't know anything about that until they come into Egypt. So I'm gonna ask you anything, because if you got a written script, God damn it, and like I say, papyrus was invented in Africa. It's from an indigenous African plant, papyrus. Okay, so if you was writing before the African, the only question I'm gonna ask you, what the fuck you was writing on? And people gonna come up, oh, we was writing on wood, and we was writing on motherfucking clay tablets and all this inferior shit that nobody is gonna be able to advance language in. If you write, if you're on paper, and you know you get a thought, you understand you can just fluently write. You see what I'm saying? You can just fluently write. You mean to tell me you got to make some mud tablets, and then you gonna motherfucking what? You gonna draw and shit? And what if you fuck up? What you got to do? You got to wet it and start all over and shit. You see what I'm saying? You wet the mud and you start all over if you fuck up. You see what I'm saying? How you do that? You see what I'm saying? And so you can't turn, if you writing, you can fluently put your ideas down. You see what I'm saying? And so you can unroll a goddamn scroll, and it can have, you know, it's a book. You see? And so we understand who invented language. You see, who invented the technology to advance language. I even got the records where, you know, I just seen what this white boy was talking about, you know, and they doing the research about language around the world. And they say that the African got so many sounds, I forget what they call them. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, the African got, you know, 200, 300 of these sounds, where the other continents only got 20 and 30, and the Africans got hundreds of them. So and this is coming from a white boy, and they did it, and I got it in there. Matter of fact, I'll bring it up tomorrow. And so the question is, how can a people from outside of Africa that possess far less sounds than Africa be able to translate when they don't even have a motherfucking sound, the tonal structure to be able to translate within their own language the many, many sounds of Africa? That's bullshit. Come on, man. All that shit is over with. You can throw that shit in the garbage. You see what I'm saying? These niggas is actually into that old early 1800 Egyptology, and that shit should be thrown in the garbage. You see what I'm saying? That shit should be thrown in the garbage. Most of them Egyptologists, as I done this, I know who the fuck they is. I don't need no nigga to tell me. And I know they ain't nothing but a pack of motherfucking liars. Most of them Egyptology, there ain't no Egyptology. They was giving grave robbers degrees. It wasn't even no departments. You see what I'm saying? There's no Egyptology. The motherfucker that it was in Britain, Flinders Petrie, one of the great supposedly Egyptologists, he never went to school. He was given an honorary degree by institution. I believe it was some institution of Egypt that they was into exploration. They didn't even have no degrees. They just was an institute where a lot of money was donated to, where they would go and send people into Egypt to bring back artifacts. They wasn't over there to do no goddamn They didn't even have no structure of how to research. They was just going in there because they heard it was a lot of artifacts just, for the taking. And that's when the pashas and all of that was giving out permits to any of the Europeans to come over there. If you had the money, you could get a permit and you can go into Egypt and you could take what you want. You understand what I'm saying? If the pasha give you a permit, you can go in there, and that's how you know that them Arabs over there had no idea whatsoever that they was Egyptian. They had no connection to that culture because they was allowing them Europeans to take them artifacts up there by the boatloads. If they ever thought that was their people, they would have never let them Europeans take them artifacts up out of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? And so now you got motherfuckers finding Israel on the murder, and you talking about they found some record. Where the fucking records at? Where they at? You see, all of that is garbage. You see, you got to understand that you can go in there right now and they in there recoloring the shit. They down there. I got whole pictures where they down in there and putting different colors on there. They rewriting Egypt. So if you ain't got no record of what it looked like before, you understand? And there is enough records. You see what I'm saying? There is enough photos that they've been taken where you can see that they're going in there. You understand? They're trying to create a link. You understand? Any way they can with a source that comes from outside of Africa. Even into this day, I heard somebody put down in there that they said that King Tut, you understand, has some damn DNA and tests. And you think you've been lying, motherfucker, for the last 400 years about Egypt. You think I'm going to let you come this late date in the game with a new lie? Am I that goddamn big a fool? You got the DNA. Motherfucker, you've been lying since day one. If the first lie was good enough, you wouldn't even have to come with the DNA shit. You see what I'm saying? I done seen science and I done seen how they perpetrated frauds and shit. That just like ain't nobody talking about. They done found out that some of them Dead Sea Scrolls, which all of them motherfuckers is fraudulent. But they came out after, you understand, many, many years of that shit sitting up in there over there at the Rockefeller Museum in Israel. They had them Dead Sea Scrolls, and now some archaeologists, you understand, have come out and they have verified that some of them Dead Sea Scrolls over there was fake. You see what I'm saying? That shit, you can look that up right now, but we were saying that all along. All that shit fake. You see, they find the Dead Sea, and I see this one program up there, and they always trying to find something from David, and that's bullshit, little trinkets. Motherfucker, where the temple? Show me some temple. Don't show me no little shit. No little shit, this little, show me a temple. You understand? Whatever the Egyptians was able, if you lived at the same time of the Egyptians and you was on par with the Egyptians and you built pyramids, you was in Egypt. See, this is another lie, just to show you, because you talk about documentation. Some people believe the Bible is documentation, but they say they was in Egypt. You see, they say they was in Egypt and they say they built pyramids. Well, my question is, if you were a part of building the Great Pyramids, we shouldn't have no problem locating temples in Israel to your prophets and to your kings. So if you built pyramids in Egypt, show me your goddamn, don't come and tell me you built something in Egypt. No, show me where you built that shit in Israel. You see what I'm saying? Because if you had anything to do with the Great Pyramid, you had such an expertise in architecture, it should be no problem to locate those temples and tombs dedicated to your kings and your queens and your prophets. We haven't found a goddamn thing. And the only thing they could do is scrape up under the dirt some little coin or some shit where they didn't, they didn't made this shit. They makes this shit up. You know what? I'm gonna do a goddamn, let me tell y'all something, because y'all done got me fired up now. You see what I'm saying? I got a whole list of records. Listen to me. You see, let me tell y'all something. I got a whole list of records where motherfuckers been sold shit to museums. And these motherfuckers supposed to be the experts. They done sold them ancient Egyptian relics, statues, and all type of, and this shit is crazy. And these is museums that's supposed to be the experts. And they done sold them fakes. They create fakes and sell them to top museums. And I seen where one motherfucker, it took them 10 years to realize that the shit was a fake. You see what I'm saying? It took them 10 years. And so they've been selling, they create ancient Egyptian looking style, statues and shit and all. You can see it on the internet right now. You can look up there and I seen some shit like little statues of Bess. You see what I'm saying? And they up there selling that shit for like $3,000, $4,000. You see, they didn't master selling fakes. You see, they didn't master selling fakes. So at this point in time, this is what it, and I'm gonna get back to this, and I'm gonna get to the last video. I'm only doing 2 videos. There's another powerful video that I got coming after this. You see, and so you got to understand that the reality is they've been digging over there for at least since the end of the 1700s. You see, so they've been digging over there for almost over 300 something years. You see, so any of them nations over there like Israel, if it was gonna produce something, the mega shit gonna already be right there in your face. You see, any megalithic shit gonna be right there, period. So you're not gonna find no megalithic shit because megalithic shit is right there in your face, boom. So they ain't got no megalithic shit. So they ain't on par with no ancient Egypt, period. They done lost that fight. I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker. They need dialogue to try to trick you into some shit. I don't need to see shit. Egypt got pyramids, show me what you got on that level. Ain't got nothing on that level, we done with the conversation. You not on ancient Egypt level. The ancient Egypt got documents of their own. And see, that's the thing is, you cannot let a motherfucker or European. I asked, what I asked you? I asked any of these so-called Egyptologists of other races. I say, okay, this is the new king. Okay, now this is around say 1718. Even though that's the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal dating period, I'll take it for right now. Okay, at 1700 BC, where your people at? Where they at? Well, we ain't been on the map. Okay then. You're not a contemporary. You can't come, motherfucker, 3,000 years after your own ancestors, who are at the time of ancient Egypt, have not even come out the cave yet. So now you're going to come 2,000 years later, and all of a sudden you know everything about ancient Egypt. If you ain't got no contemporaries, you done lost that. See, you when you're doing research, you got to say, who's the contemporaries? Are there any contemporary European historians? Where are they? At 7, there is none. So you can't speak on anything. And at 1700 BC, you can't speak on nothing. You see, if you allow a motherfucker whose race is unheard of in contemporary Egypt at that time, you's a fool, nigga. I don't care what they talking about, DNA, they didn't use that. How the fuck is you gonna interpret a language, nigga, that you can't hear? I don't give a fuck what you niggas talking about. If you that goddamn dumb, you understand what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. You go get Rosetta Stone, any of that shit. Nigga, in order for you to learn a motherfucking language, you got to hear the tonals. I don't give a fuck, nigga. You hear it first. You understand? You hear it. If you cannot hear it, how the fuck is you gonna speak it? You niggas then created a goddamn Mickey Mouse language, you understand, and pasted it on ancient Egypt. And all I ask a motherfucker, after all the reading all that shit, you didn't wrote all these books and shit, and you didn't wrote all this lettering and shit. I'm gonna ask you one question. How did they build the pyramid? I don't know. Nigga, get out my face. Get out my motherfucking face, nigga. I don't want to hear no more. I know all the I know all the languages. How did they build the pyramid? I don't know. Get the fuck out of my face. Because if you read all that, you would know. You gonna know. That's the first question I'm like, well, how did they build the pyramid? Yeah, nigga. Time to leave the stage. You see, time to leave the stage, nigga. You see, these is people trying to latch on to your ancestors' work. And ain't nothing wrong, because it's a beautiful thing. You know, and matter of fact, let me get back to this. Y'all made me go off track. But I ain't gonna let no nigga steal my ancestors' history and put no vagabonds in there. And then we talking about, and I'm gonna end with this, because this is, and we don't talk about the fact how lowly these motherfuckers is. You see how lowly they is. They done sold their own brother. They didn't put their own brother in slavery. You see, they don't talk about Canaan, Ham and Canaan is the son of Ham, their own nephew. This their nephew that they didn't enslave. You see, this their nephew that they enslaved. And so this is crazy. This is crazy. We don't even see the literal brutality that's being shown in this book. And this is ordained by God. This is ordained by God. You see, I did that one. Deuteronomy 16. No, wait a minute, I didn't do this one. Yeah, that's the one. Yes, it did. Saying, you shall save alive nothing that breatheth. Okay? Ezekiel 30. You see? Ezekiel 30. Which one is that? And the sword shall come upon Egypt, and great pain shall be in Ethiopia. When the slain shall fall in Egypt, and they shall take away in her multitude, and her foundation shall be broken. You see, this is what they talk about. You see, this is what they talk about. Every verse in there, they talking about the downfall of ancient Egypt, the downfall of Ethiopia. You see, and I see these niggas out here putting this bullshit up about Egypt. Yeah, I see these niggas out here putting this bullshit up about, you see, Egypt. And I don't debate. People say I shouldn't debate. I don't debate. I beat motherfuckers up. You see, I don't debate. I beat motherfuckers up when I had to practice on something. You see what I'm saying? Don't think I'm debating with no motherfucking body. I'm beating a motherfucker up. You see, I make motherfuckers tap. You see, I'm going to get on them until they tap. You see what I'm saying? you know, I get, and so like I say, I'm sending warning shots out, and you can tell motherfuckers that I said it. They gonna come. There's a lot of motherfuckers. Yeah, it sounds like a whole lot of hate. You see, it sounds like a whole lot of hate. You see, it sounds like a whole lot of hate. You see, but I tell you what, our people need victory. We need victory today. You see, we need people that'll come out and debate and be fearless in defending ancient Egypt and defending Africa. Because a lot of people think it's just Egypt is the fountainhead of all of Africa. All of Africa is displayed in ancient Egypt. It ain't just one tribe. There's many tribes that was in ancient Egypt. Just like you can go in any African nation today and you see many tribes. There were many tribes represented in ancient Egypt. You see? And so you can tell them motherfuckers out there that's talking and they pretending like they jumping, them little measly niggas that they debating out there. Yeah. I'm sharpening my sword because I know at one, I got some niggas in my target. And they ain't no look, they not my equal. But I tell you what, I give them an opportunity for me to beat their ass. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I'm going to do. Because they've been thinking they could get away, and I'm about had enough of their ass. And I hope that they in here, and I know they know who I'm talking about. And I ain't talking about them little Aboriginal niggas, because I seen the little niggas when I said that they gonna hype themselves up. Like, yeah, Seti, I've been trying to get, nigga, I wasn't even talking about you, nigga. Get on out of here, nigga. You ain't no nigga, get out of here. Get out of my damn, but letting it be known that I'm warming up. And it ain't gonna be long. And when I get a hold, I'm gonna end your career, nigga. I'm gonna end your career. I'm putting them shots out there to let it be known that I got fire in my bones about you, nigga. Because you think and I'm sending that shout out, and I hope it get to where it's supposed to get. I'm sending that shout out. I need you when you ready for me, nigga. But I tell you, when I get a hold to your ass, it's gonna be over for you. I'm gonna make sure that I break your back. I'm gonna make sure you will not survive me. You know what I'm saying? Because I got the fact, but you so disrespectful to my culture. You see, you've been so disrespectful to my culture, and so I owe you, nigga. And let it be known that you cannot fuck with me. And I'm sending that shout out, and I hope that it get where it need to get. Okay? No, man, that nigga ain't no, hell no. Man, get out of here. I don't even watch that, man. I won't even call that man name, man. You know what I'm saying? That's on some other, that ain't even in my arena. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that ain't even my arena. That ain't even worth my time, man. Come on, man. Let that man do what he do. You know what I'm saying? I done been there and done that. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even that ain't no threat whatsoever. Man, y'all niggas is wasting my time, man. Y'all putting these little niggas in my chat, man. Is you crazy? y'all niggas talk what? Man, come on, man. What? Y'all being disrespectful to me, nigga. I mean, what the fuck, man? Y'all ain't got no more respect for me than that, nigga, to put this shit in my chat, nigga. You know, it's y'all niggas stay out my damn chat. I might have to just go on and fucking just call, and say, please don't put no more in. Don't even. I'll let y'all know. Man, please, family. I got one more I want to drop for y'all. Let me come back, y'all. Let me come back and we kick it just for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna kick it because I want to drop this science on these ships from ancient Egypt, family. It ain't no, like I said, it ain't no disrespect. It ain't, but that ain't what I'm dealing with. You see what I'm saying? Y'all can let that pass. I done been there and done that. You see what I'm saying? I'm on something totally different. You know, the vibe will get where it need to go. You see what I'm saying? The vibe will get where it need to go. Believe me. You see, I'm going to be right back, family. Let's take a pause. I'm going to come right back in so we can start the next presentation. This is the general saying, hey, Black Power.